Hello, hello. We are talking direct mail. I have got two guys that they were Boy Scouts together. They've made campfires. They've held hands and sung in the rain together. Got Ben Shenk and Mike Robinson that are they're gonna talk direct mail. They're gonna introduce themselves first. And guys, tell me, give me just a little bit of personal knowledge. Where are you from? What did where'd you grow up? I'm not gonna make you guys fight over who goes first. I know that you guys. Okay.
Yeah. I'm Ben Shenk. I'm with Summit Direct Mail. I'm one of the national sales representatives. I have been with Summit almost 20 years, but more interesting than that, I've worked for John Barber, the owner of Summit Direct Mail, since 1997. There was a few years when we worked together, but I learned direct mail in the 90s from John, and now here we are in 2025, and I've been, doing it ever since.
You look very young for being in that for a long time.
The business is great. No,
yeah. All right. So wait, were you with John? So we've had John on, and were you with John before the company then started, right?
When
he was
exactly
with the first company.
I was working here in Texas. I'd taken a job transfer. I had a cubicle inside of JCPenney's, working for a large direct marketer, and I wasn't happy. And somebody said you need to meet where John was working, and they said you need to just reach out to him. And I met John, and we had really good sales chemistry together. And then I rejoined him a couple years after he founded Summit and put it together.
That's amazing. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Wow.
And then I transferred around a little bit, working in different areas of printing and mailing prior to even winding up in Texas.
Okay.
So Mike Robinson, Summit Direct Mail. I'm from Texas. I've been in the business since 2000. Summit started in 2003. John was actually one of my vendors when I worked for a marketing agency. His company went away. My company went away. We started a performance marketing company called Performance Direct Marketing. At that point in time, we had a number of customers, and when our vendor came to us as a marketing agency and said, we no longer can support you, John went in and did an asset purchase, and we created Summit Direct Mail. So I've been with him since 2000, 2001.
Since the beginning. Wow.
Since the beginning.
That's incredible. Okay, so, well, look, we talked to John about making direct mail great again. Okay, this is a slogan that he confessed that he stole from someone else, but you guys have adopted it. Let's take turns here and just, what does that mean to you? I mean, it feels like with John, sales and emotion and fundamentals are ingrained in everything that you guys are doing. Right. So how have you taken that on, and what does it mean to you? So
for me, make direct mail great again. For me, I don't think it's ever not been great. I think some of the environments changed with the younger generations wanting to go digital, straight digital. We've always been around. Our business have always grown. I think make direct mail great again was more towards the people who didn't understand, or they didn't understand or didn't realize that direct mail really didn't go away. I mean, the number of people that come to us and say, oh, it's still around, or oh, it's coming back. For me, it never went away. It was just the knowledge these people didn't have about the value of this product.
Yeah, but isn't that just the nature of humans right now, where it's just if it's not flashing in front of them, then it's gone.
That's exactly right.
Right.
We were to show, Ben and I were to show this week, and oh, it's coming back. And we're like, no, it's.
Never left.
Our business has grown with 1 year, with exception of COVID. I think our business has grown year after year since 2003. So. Some of it, direct mail is going down a little bit. The volumes are going down, but for us, we've grown year after year.
Wow. Same question,
yeah,
Ben.
And I think Mike hit the nail on the head. Overall, direct marketing volumes are down, but really what we're doing is we're making direct mail better. So that make direct mail great again has more to do with, hey, we're going to take whatever mail you're doing, and we're going to make it better. And that's where Summit really sells marketing as a service. We take marketing and we make your direct mail better, and we introduce any technique we can add to your mail to increase the response rate. So that to us is making direct mail great again. So we don't care if you mail more, we want your mail to work better, and that's how we make direct mail great again.
I think John said there's 1 million pieces a day coming out of your guys' facilities. That sounds like there's a lot of mail still happening.
There's quite a bit of mail.
A lot of mail.
That's a lot. That's a lot of mail. So, okay. I feel like Denzel said this in some movie, explain it to me like I'm a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old, something like that. So just highlight something that people don't know about direct mail. What is, how did you send me a piece of mail after the hailstorm because I potentially needed a roofer? How did that happen?
So there's a lot of things people don't know about mail, and a lot of things that people don't know about data. If you think you're not being tracked, you're very mistaken. We have the ability to track everything, whether it be on your phone, whether it be on your internet, whether it be geofencing around certain areas that you go. So based on all those attributes and things that we're seeing, we can then come by. There was a company, they started about 15 years ago, that actually could do rooftop, speaking of hail damage of roofs, they could actually do storm chasing and see where storms went through to see where hail went through. They could do a geofence map around that piece and target everybody in that area. Hey, we think you had a hailstorm. We're here to help you. So if there is data or if there's a question that somebody has about what about this or what about that, there's 100% sure data supporting that it's out there.
Well, that beats the heck out of hey, there was a hailstorm in my neighborhood. Now I'm a roofer. I'm plopping signs in everybody's yard. I'm going door to door. You already got a mailer in the cooker.
That's exactly right.
Going out that morning.
That's exactly right.
And it's attractive and it's for me.
Correct.
And it says, Jason, I know you got hail damage.
That's right.
That's incredible. Tell me something. Wow me. What's interesting? What do I not know? I don't know anything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, your data is highly targeted. Every piece, if you're getting it in the mail, you're highly prospected and identified by somebody. You've already been modeled as somebody that's highly likely to respond. But in addition to that, they're taking you. They've got your profile. Even the pictures might be dedicated just for you on the mail piece.
Wow.
They might know what kind of dog you have.
Wow.
You've got a pet supplier. Your pet store mailed you. Well, they put a dog on there because you're a dog owner. Guess what? They know what breed of dog. When you join the dog club that you signed up for, now you're going to get a piece of mail that specifically looks at your breed of dog, and it's selling you the nutritional supplements that you want timed perfectly with your dog for their age and their health.
Right.
So everything's being kept.
That's I never say wild. That's wild, right? So so when we think, well, that's deja vu, or it's interesting that the trade winds of thought are aligning here. Other people must have dogs. You guys know so much, and if I'm a potential customer, I want this, right? You're able to direct market with direct mail, with insights and nuance for
Exactly.
me. And that piece of mail is that's for Jason to pick up and be like, I like those colors.
Yeah.
Right. I like this dog. I'm sure paper selection too, right?
Yeah.
It's all fit for me.
Right. And then, it goes a step further in today's world, where, by the way, you saw a commercial yesterday for wedding rings,
Right.
And you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
I just talked about that on my phone last week.
Right.
There's things going on.
Same
in the world
technology.
today.
It's the same tech.
You're like, wait a minute.
That's right. We utilize the same technology. The cell phone stuff, that data is out there. It's aggregating it from everywhere you go. Anything you do, we've got pixels that if you hit a site and you look at a red truck, we know you looked at a red truck. We can send you a direct mail piece of a red truck.
Wow.
So the data is there. It's how you utilize it and where you draw the line of where it's too scary for someone to want to respond. Obviously, there's that line of you step over that line and
Right.
maybe they're going to freak out. And,
Sure.
But you got to know where that line is, but you got to make it personal. The more you personalize, the better response is going to be.
Right.
Right.
Do either of you have a red truck?
No.
No red
Okay.
trucks.
Are you against them fundamentally?
No, mine's gray.
Okay.
He didn't have
have a
a.
truck.
He didn't have a truck.
Do you think red trucks get more tickets?
I would think red does.
Probably. Yeah, I wouldn't own a
Probably.
red car.
Do you think
Oh,
they're
my daughter does have a red car now that I think about it. So
interesting? Do you get deals on red cars?
Don't know.
I
Good
think
question.
insurance is probably higher there, right?
I think so.
Higher
It's like
risk.
you
Yeah.
higher risk. You speed more if you got a red car.
Yeah.
You're a hot rod.
Less likely to be underwritten or marketed to, more than likely.
That's right. Okay, so you're the guy on this. Test like a marketer. Tell me about this.
Yeah, I mean, everything that goes into that mail piece is probably, it's always way more thought through than you realize when you get it in the mail. And, it's funny. Different marketers, we often test, it might just be the size of the mail piece or how thick is the mail piece? And our whole game is always like, I need to get open and responded to. And, you know, it's funny in a lot of worlds, like people are always like,
Open,
well,
so opened and responded to. So I got to open the mail, not just tear it in half because I'm afraid of sensitive information and throw it in the trash.
That's exactly
I got to
right.
get it open. I got to get it open here. I got to unfold it. I got to feel it.
right.
And then you need a response. That's
Right.
your mission accomplished,
That's
right?
exactly
Okay.
right. And so there's, you know, it's funny. Most initial calls I get are always like, we just want to mail postcards because they're cheap. Well, they work great when you're doing retail promotions, you're doing lawn services, you're doing real estate where you're using pictures or imagery.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get into like sophisticated financial services or loans or insurance, and these are things that people don't always want to talk about, but they need. So then your goals become like, I really need to get open and paid attention to, and you know, some of the goals become things like I need to get into the bill pile because I need to be remembered. So when, like, I watched a video on YouTube one time where a guy was opening his mail and he showed how he actually kept mail, and he just kept pulling pieces out of his pile of mail that he got, and it was keep or throw away. Everything that he kept went into the bill pile. Well, the ones that went into the bill pile get read later, and you know, to us as a direct marketer, that's a victory if I can make it to the bill pile. If I have a service that's more complicated, difficult to sell. So.
Wow.
Anyway, just
Wow.
that to me would be that's good testing. You know, seeing things like that is getting, you know, trying to understand what people open, why they respond to that mail on the outside. The physical characteristics is just one aspect of it.
Wow.
Yeah, example would be, you know, people looking for credit cards. You send a mail piece with an attached credit card, whether it's fake or not, a faux card. They feel that card in there, they're like, oh, sweet, I got me a brand new credit card. I can max, open it up. Oh, it's not real, but it got them to open it, got them to look at it. That's the cool thing about direct mail. I'm sure John mentioned it as well. You know, email only and all these other things. You can file them away. In order to get rid of a direct mail piece, you actually have to touch it, look at it, and throw it away.
Yeah.
So that's the value that we
I
have.
remember when the people used to put like a nickel or there was a pennies that went out and you had to open it, right?
Yeah.
That was a good click.
When we did,
Well, go ahead.
when we did those mail pieces, you imagine how many nickels we had in our Coke machines.
Well, do you know why they did that?
yeah.
Do you want to know why nonprofiters typically fix money?
Please.
They fixed the money because they would prove in their campaigns that they fixed money on the direct mail piece. You're more likely to give to that
Wow.
campaign. And not only that, you're more likely to give more money. They could track, they knew the exact dollar value they're going to affix to that mail piece. And that helps determine when you're raising money, the inclination of the donor for your cause. So
Well, it's
there's a
interesting.
tie-in.
Like I feel like it was little kids in Africa or something that needed help at some point that had like 501c3s that were sending that out that I saw, and I would immediately have a response where I was like, oh well, they needed to get my attention, and I need to give them this nickel back. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
all right,
that's
I
what
want
you're
them to
doing.
have the
That's
money
exactly-
back,
that's
right?
exactly how
And
that works.
It's direct mail by guilt.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
Tell me about integration with digital marketing. Tell me about how the mail that I'm receiving integrates there, because that's what everybody's. I mean, all the kids. I'm not a kid, but
I'll fire one off here. I mean,
Yeah.
An easy answer is like I mentioned it earlier. Is that when you do a campaign, they already know all your channels. They know your email. They know your home address. Well, when they have that email and the home address, oftentimes they're able to go ahead and identify, okay, Jason subscribes to Hulu, and let's target some one-to-one television ads to Jason's address. So when you say, you know, the multi-channels, that's getting you on your email. You might have heard it on Sirius Satellite Radio. You've seen it on Hulu. So you're getting every channel to maximize responses.
Yeah, no, it's exactly right. And the challenge that we have is we have to teach our customers that, and we have a lot of them that still do this and they don't do it very well, is they completely separate it and don't tie them together. We might mail out I'm going to make it up, a blue and green piece, but their email is yellow and purple. You've got to sync them together.
Right.
You've got to learn how to sync them together. We've got programs that know when it's about to hit the mailbox. So when it hits the mailbox, you hit them with an email. We also do a lot of personalized URLs and landing pages. When they hit that personalized URL and landing page, if they do something or don't do something, you fire off a triggered type event that would either come with a video, with an email or an SMS text or a ringless voicemail. So everybody, I don't know a company whether they do digital only, whether it's 90-10 digital direct mail or 90-10 direct mail digital, that there's every component, there's a mix.
Okay.
You know, we do, our goal is direct mail, right? But there are still a lot of our customers, and we push a lot of our customers, hey, you're about to get a mail piece. We're about to deliver a mail piece. Make sure your digital team is on board with us and sync when we sync, because the more you touch them in the different channels, the more likely they are to respond.
And y'all take that on? You'll help the sync?
Absolutely, if they allow us.
Right.
Some won't allow us. The challenge that we have with a lot of our customers is there's that internal fight for attribution. So no, that's a digital. That's a digital.
Right.
That's a digital. And no, that's a direct mail acquisition.
Yeah.
So everybody's fighting amongst themselves. If they would ever learn to work together, they'd be a much stronger company. We try to push that, but they can't.
Justifying your position at all times.
No, that's exactly right.
I'm the valuable one.
Yeah, and one of John's famous sayings is the bug them till they buy. You know, it's just, you just don't stop, you know, and you're hitting them from every channel. And so we always, we lead with that in our meetings a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to hit them from every channel.
Okay, so I've got some notes here. Variable data for personalization. Explain some of these things to me, like the 5-year-old that I am.
Like personalization. So, you know, you get a landing. So we're going to take you to a mail piece. There's going to be a QR code on there. Jason scans it. But the beauty of Jason scanning us to us, a direct marketer, I know you scanned it, Jason, okay?
Right.
You just scanned it, playing around on your phone.
Right.
We're like, Jason scanned it. He
Right.
likes that red. He likes that red pickup truck we
Right.
talked about earlier. Mike does not like it. You scan it, you like the red pickup truck. And then you're going to have this great one-to-one experience. And Mike, why don't you tell them, you know, what happens at that point? You know, where are you headed from there?
So again, at the very beginning, we were talking about we know everything about you. So if I know stuff about you, I'm going to put it in the marketing pieces. The direct mail piece. If I know you a red truck, I'm going to have a picture of a red truck. If I drive you to a personalized page and welcome you by name, I'm going to welcome you by name. I'm going to show you relevant imagery. You know, years ago, I used to have Sprint. And I don't think they're around anymore, before I went to AT&T. But every time I would call them, every time I got transferred, they'd ask me, what's your name, what's your phone number, right? Nowadays, if I don't know that, people are going to leave. So we have all that ability to capture of it. So when they do land on that landing page, I can welcome you by name. I can pre-populate everything I know about you. You know what? I don't have your email. I don't have your phone number. Hey, very simple. I got all this information about you. Let's go ahead and give me your phone number. Give me your email. I got everything else. Click submit and we'll move forward. Because again, the more you populate, the more you personalize, the better response is going to be.
Yeah.
So we're saying the data is king.
Absolutely.
Right?
It
For
is
you.
the king. And that's what we always tell our customers. While I do believe creative is like a super important part of your direct mail and your testing, I do believe there's, you know, certain business rules clients have to follow, like how big is the mail piece, what size is it. But at the end of the day, we most often see the number one, there's a simple pie chart I need to create for you. When we're out selling direct marketing, I usually kind of call this DM 101. When I walk in a meeting, I start with this. And it's a slide that says, for your response rate, 50% of your response rates are driven by the data. That's who are the people you are mailing, okay? So then the next part of that is 30% is driven by the offer. So that is, does Jason even need a car right now, or is he even interested in buying them? The last part is that 20%, which is the creative. It doesn't count for as much. What was more important was that Jason was looking for a red truck this week.
Yeah.
And he was on the list that we were going to pull, and he's qualified. Those are the important factors that we have to have.
Right.
So that's the 80%. So.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. The
yeah,
deal
so
does
we're not
grab
going to
me.
mail. A good example is, you know, you're going to do a house refi. I'm not going to mail to an apartment complex. So that's the data.
Right.
And then the offer, you know, if it's a good enough offer, you could put it on the bottom of a shoe and throw it up against the door. Especially right now in the refi market. If I gave somebody a 3% refi offer right now, again, I can put it on the bottom of a shoe. I can whip it up, throw it up against their door, and walk away, and they're going to take the offer.
Done. Okay. Well, and that's also great, because if I'm your customer and I go to the apartments and I'm looking for refis, I'm going to be ticked off, right? I'm going to say,
right.
Why are we wasting my
Money.
whatever cent, you know, a mailer it is, right?
right.
Yeah,
So
we lead with that kind of visual. I try to create it all the time, because you wouldn't believe the number of meetings we walk in where we're sitting with high-level direct marketers, and they don't have any clue. They get very hung up on the creative, which is super important. But at the same time, we always go right back to the data. Is that Mike said it best? We can mail out a terribly inexpensive, cheap, unattractive mail piece if it's a really, really good offer. If it's a big coupon,
Yeah.
you know, get $100 off your $200
Yeah.
purchase. You know, then hey, we don't have to work hard. We have to work hard when the offers are harder to sell, though, and we have to.
Well, it would seem, I think just speaking with John, there was there's this, this reputation that, oh, maybe that's old school, right? That the direct mail, which is why we're talking about making it great again, which is all about perception, it seems. But it would also seem that the people that have been around the longest and that are still doing 1 million pieces a day probably have pulled all the best tools, all the best data, all the best integration, all the best evolution in their industry to stay alive and to still be that successful. So it seems like you guys could be kind of our one-stop shop for everything. Like there's not a missing piece that you're having to go out for unless it's a partner relationship where you're pulling in data or whatever from somebody, but you seem to have everything crossed and dotted.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I kind of do want to speak to the evolution of Summit as a company and how we do with our customers. It's like when we started, we were a direct mail printing company, that did direct mail. And, that's how I thought I thought I was selling printing and direct mail. And when I started the business, and fortunately I was lucky enough to work for John, where John had, really saw the marketing early on. He had customers that brought him into their meetings. He sat down in 101s every week learning how do you test, what's your data strategy, that he trained me. Then years later, he meets Mike. Mike does these amazing personalized URL tests. Then I come on board and realize that we're really selling marketing. We're not selling printing and mail. We are Summit Direct Mail. That is who we are. That's what we do. But our customers need higher response rates. They need that. They need their direct mail to be better. Yeah. And so that's where we come in. We sell, to those marketing features. So,
John said something about like an open rate, right, or a response rate. What's realistic?
Depends on the industry. It can be
and the trend, right?
Right.
We're talking about
I can tell you
interest rates right now.
Current, I know there's people that'd be happy with anywhere between 0.5% to a 1% response rate. Back in the early to mid 2000s, I was doing things like for refi when they were getting down to that 1.9%, 2%. We were getting 5 and 10 and 15% response rate. But again, that's an anomaly because it was a ridiculous offer. But again, there's a certain set of requirements you need to make direct mail work. You're not going to sell bubble gum with direct mail because it's just not going to ROI out. So you've got to have the right product, that's going to generate a couple $100, $50, $100, couple $100, and then be able to market it, effectively. And then with that being said, having that offer, realistic, our financial services, if they're pulling, Ben, 0.5% response rate and they convert it, they'd be very happy.
That's when I look for an industry average. I just tell people 0.5%. That's one of the big questions we always get. How much is a mail piece? And I always create these industry averages because I like to have one answer that I can use globally. Right. 0.5% is my one. And then how much does it cost? And I always tell people 50 cents all in. And it's like that is not an actual number. But if you're doing budgeting and forecasting, you're just looking big picture. No matter what you're in, that number should mean something to you. The 0.5% and 50 cents. It's always really basic.
And
math.
if you're a savvy marketer,
101.
If you're a savvy marketer, you'll know that that's a realistic number.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a guy watching. I know I need your help. Tell me, I've been hearing about personalized URLs. Tell me about that. Tell me about those. What do I need? How do I get it? How do you set me up with it? And how do we move forward with it?
That's okay. So we started in 2009, and back in 2009, it was simply put your first name, your last name, and then a vanity domain name. So MikeRobinson.applynow.com, right? And so what it's going to do is it's going to help you. First of all, it's a personalized page, so you're seeing now your name in a URL. So you're looking at, oh wow, that's personalized to me. Let me check that out. So a lot of it back in the early days was curiosity. And it's gone from curiosity to convenience. So the curiosity was, okay, let me check it out. So you go to it, you click it. You actually, at that time, you didn't click it. You actually type it in, and you go to a page, and it welcomes you by name. And again, the more you personalize, the better it's going to be. So you would have a letter that had a personalized offer to go to MikeRobinson.applynow.com, right? Oh, wow, that's cool. That's personalized for me. Let me check it out. So we did that, and we did that all the way through probably the last 5 to 8 years. And then everybody knows what a QR code was. If anything good came out of COVID, which people might shake their head right now, was the use of QR codes. Here in a restaurant, how did people order? You didn't have a menu. Yeah. You had to use a QR code.
On the table, right?
Yep. On the table, they'd scan it. So, and you didn't have to download it anymore, right? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, it's been drinking.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to download it anymore. It came native to the phone. So now all they have to do is get a mail piece. They scan it with a QR code. It pops everything they want up on their phone.
Right.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that is not only can it take them to a page, I can now track them so the marketer can see we mailed a piece, they called because I know the number that they called from, or if they scanned something, I know by name who they were and what they did. I brought them in, they came to that page, did they fill it out or did they leave? If they filled it out, great, we capture them, we push it over to their CRM system to let their people go. If they didn't capture it, I send the customer a nightly file and they go back and remarket to them.
Wow.
That's the power of personalized URLs and having personalized marketing pieces or personalized marketing attributes in a piece that can actually take you to something that you already know you want.
I think that's vital, because if I'm looking at it, I'm like, where's the accountability? It's right there.
Yep.
I know you're sending me an email at night saying so many people clicked and opened it up. Here's how your new customers are happening. Go get them. Go
right.
take a next step to go get them.
That's right.
Right.
And one of my favorite parts of this is, like, people always love to walk up to us when we're at our trade shows or where we are, and they want to say, could you guys do personalized QR codes? And I say, we tested them back in 2013 and they didn't work. This is all true. And they're like, back that far? I'm like, yeah, we've been doing it that long, but you didn't have that. Nobody had a way to open it on their phone. They had to download that app. And I always think it's so funny. And I actually have a mail piece going back all the way to 2013 where Mike and I were pushing it so hard because we believe in it so much.
John didn't even know how to do it. John actually was trying to take a picture, because back then the phones, you had to download it. He didn't even know how to do it. He didn't know how to download the app. We had to show him how to do it. I mean, that's one of the things. John is very good at direct mail and the marketing and all of the components of how things run and feats and speeds and stuff. He's enlisted Ben and I and the rest of our team to look at this technology. And we were so far ahead of the technology. I'm like, hey, check this out. He didn't even know what to do with it. And as soon as we showed it to him, he embraced it and quick and said, whatever you guys need, let's do it. So it's been great technology for us to help increase direct mail.
What great leadership too. I mean, a guy that's like constantly learning. He's got that, I'm just a simple country boy. Also, right. And he's brilliant over here. But innovator.
It's the dig into marketing, and I think that's unusual. When we're out there talking to our competitors, we talk to our marketing automation partners or anybody work with that space, they always say Summit's a little bit different because we are so engaged in that area, and that's where we separate ourselves as a company, is we bring all the value. We walk in with an arsenal of tools. It's not one, it's a dozen that we start off with. And then when those don't work, then we just say, all right, what's next? We're already charting out the next courses.
Most of our competitors, all they want to do is put millions of pieces of mail on the street. They don't want to do all ink this other paper. Stuff. All they want to do is put ink on paper. They want the discovers of 10 million pieces a month. So, I say, I want that? I don't even know if I'd want a 10 million piece job per month from one customer, because I don't know. First of all, they'd probably want us to give it away, and we're not going to do that. We value our company and our stuff a little bit more than most of these people, but a lot of these guys just want to put ink on paper and get out the door, and they don't care about the other turnkey solutions, and that's where I think we've been successful, and I think that's where we've gotten a lot of customers from a lot of other vendors, is they don't want to go that extra step and learn about the new technology that's out there.
Right. Too many pieces doesn't mean more customers.
And it's a lot of extra work for us to do to learn all that technology and keep putting it in front of people.
Absolutely.
But we've always said that's how we've grown our business too.
That's our differentiator.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's our competitive advantage for sure.
Okay, tell me something. You've covered a lot here. Tell me something you're excited about that you're doing right now. Tell me about a customer. I don't care. Tell me something in the field that you're out there doing.
I'm excited about.
You tell it. No, it's a good one. You tell them.
Oh, look, we're going to fight over it.
We're going to a little bit of arm wrestling.
But you got to tell it because it's that good.
Oh, so this is a shared story of it.
It's always a shared story. Okay. With Ben and I, it's always shared. So we do a lot of personalized URLs and a lot of personalized URLs and landing pages. We're very excited about the integration of AI. And so we'll leave it at that, but there's a lot of cool new stuff coming with AI that I think is a game changer, like personalized URLs were for us back in 2009.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about that. We don't even know where to go with it. It's so wide open. We call it blue ocean. I mean, it's just blue ocean. Nobody else is really doing it right now. So there's some things that we're going to be doing here in the near future by the end of the year that I think is going to be very cool.
But, and even... right. Mike's right. We've got things we're super excited about that we're actually building proof of concepts already that we're going to be taking to market in the next year using AI, and we think we're only scratching the surface. We think it's going to be unlimited. But even to this point, I think it has to be known, like right now, the post office is even running an AI promotion, as crazy as that sound, that our old school post office been around forever, where they're discounting your mail by 3% if you use imagery created by AI or text that has been created by AI. So if you put that on your mail piece over the next 6 months, you're going to save money. So to me, it's like even the post office is digging in. So we better all get on board in our careers and our jobs. And we didn't even touch on, when we had one of our earlier meetings today, it's like, what can happen to our manufacturing processes internally? How can our people optimize themselves? How can the data solutions get better and learn the data models on the fly? There's a million things getting ready to happen here, and we do think it is kind of that time coming with AI, and that's what we're excited about right now, though, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Definitely.
Constantly innovating.
That's right. You have to.
Summit.
You have to. You're bad at business.
Yeah.
So Ben, tell me about like from the creative side. I mean, we live in this world of like everyone's a creator. Everyone's a creator. We're pushing the limits. We got AI technology that's helping us create, right? You can build a website in 40 minutes. Tell me from your end, what's new, what's interesting?
Yeah. So on our side, obviously my customers are always testing, what does the text say? Does this outpull, does this message perform better than that message? Does this picture perform better than that message? And of course, on our side, where we're evolving as a company is we're going, we know that different formats will actually change the response rate. So people love interactive response. They love interactive mail pieces. So I'll never forget, it was 20 years ago, the company John and I worked at, we affixed stickers to every mail piece. And it just seems so silly to me because you could just print that information on there. Like, why would we do that? And then, every time they would test it, they'd say, people like the idea of peeling off a sticker, putting it on this reply piece, and put it back in the envelope.
Weird.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
To me, it's like that just doesn't make any sense. But when you study people's behavior, so they, when they have that opportunity to touch that piece a different way, or it feels different, or as something you pull open, people are engaged by those tactics. So at Summit, we're kind of evolving right now. We have some new equipment we've installed. We're actually going to be able to make pieces in line that you can have special pull-off parts on it where they have different openings or on different paper, and it gives a different reaction from the customer because those
Can you make
things
it
do
smell?
matter. I'm sorry?
Can you make it smell?
There is smell mail. We have not done smell mail, but I have heard stories.
No, we've done it a long time ago.
Oh, well, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, you probably weren't
I'm
there.
a
tell you
big
right now.
scratch and sniff guy with the old books. I keep them around the house, and there's a gingerbread man that I'm really,
I've
I'm
heard
still in
stories
love
of
with.
people
So
getting their mail shop, getting run out of their own mail shop because it smells like a perfume factory. It's like,
Bet.
why,
Well, they got envelopes too that are seeds in them that you can, when you're done with them, you could drop it in the ground and it'll grow a plant.
dude, that's cool.
And then there's,
Yeah.
there's scratch offs. There's so many different things. The post office even had their own discounts earlier this year for tactile and sensory. They want you to be able to seal it. They want you to be able to feel the mail, because when you feel that mail, that influences your behavior. And that is it. When there's something you can feel about it, it's going to change how you respond to that mail piece.
Wasn't that like American Psycho, where it was the business card had to feel a certain way? He was
I
like,
didn't see it.
You haven't
but
seen American Psycho?
But people do comment on our own business cards. We have nice thick ones.
It's thick and it's like, there's a little bit of a gray to it. It's a little rough.
But
you like it.
to your point, we test things like, if you can feel the letter on Jason's name when you touch the mail piece, does that outperform? We did one where we did embossed foil. Like you could actually feel Jason's name in this fancy foil. Well, it does work. We do get higher response rates because when you see your name in bright lights, you're like, hey, they want me,
Well, and also I don't know, maybe it's a credibility thing. They spent some money on the mail.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Okay, so Mike, I've got 10 million. I've got a list of 10 million people that I want to target. We were just talking about the apartments earlier. I don't want to go to the apartments. How do we weed this down?
Well, if you're a new customer, the first thing I say is you're not mailing 10 million pieces. And I say it this way: what are you cool with going to Vegas and blowing and losing? Right? Everybody's got a number. Hey, we're going to Vegas. All right, I'm going to take $1,000. If I lose it, I lose it, but I'm not going to spend any more. Same thing with something like this. When you're folks going out, what do you guys? Nobody's okay losing money, but what are you guys okay with? It's not going to put you out of business. That's an acceptable number that you're okay. So whatever that number is, then we work with that, right? Once we work with that and we start seeing it, then we just gradually go higher and higher and higher. So I'm not going to,
because we're going to learn.
You're going to learn. And then the other thing is once you learn, you're going to start seeing what these people look like, right?
Right.
So once you start seeing what these people look like, the next step is saying, okay, I still got 9 million pieces to go. Okay, there's demographics out there, psychographics. I can say, okay, my customer is 35-year-old man that's has a family, the presidents of children that live in a $250,000 house. Okay, that's 80% of the people that are hitting and are taking my offer. Okay. Then what we do is we take that other 9 million records, drop it in a model, and start and spit most of those people out. Because again, from our previous discussion, I can tell everything about everybody.
Wow.
And so then we can knock it down to, okay, guys, yeah, there's 10 million records, but in essence, you're talking 3.5 million records, that or 4 million, whatever the number is. That's the number you need to start going with in testing. And you can.
And then we're gonna shrink that down.
Well, you'll either shrink it down, or you'll start finding some other attributes and commonalities that you can pull in again. Wow. Okay, hey, now I'm actually a boat owner, or I have other property in other places, or whatever, or I've been divorced, or whatever it is, right? I can start pulling in additional data sets and start hitting those people as well.
Yeah, and there's a couple simple techniques that we always integrate in that, like such as when people register and move to the post office, we're going to update your mail list automatically to make sure we catch the people who just moved, the people who closed their PO box. That happens. So we're trying to make sure you're not mailing people unnecessarily, and that's what the post office wants us to do. There's deceased files where you're making sure you're trying to pull out the people who have passed so that you don't accidentally, mail people that you
Aren't
don't want to.
Aren't we paying them Social Security? I've heard that.
Yes, probably.
You try to clean it up as best as possible. So it's mailable and it can get delivered. But the other thing is we have a lot of financial service clients that are registered in specific states. And if they start mailing into the states that they're not registered in because somebody moved and we don't capture that,
right,
they're going to get attorney generals calling them saying, hey, why are you marketing in this state when you're not licensed to market in this state?
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's a lot of back-end data hygiene and cleansing you have to do to make direct mail great again, right?
Yeah. Boat owners seem like easy targets to me.
They are, because you know who owns a boat. So if you got something to sell boat owners, it's pretty easy to find the boat owners, and you know what they subscribe to.
They're willing to pay the price on that boat being in the water.
Right.
Man,
it's the friends of boat owners that are hard to reach because they haven't bought a boat yet.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, cool, guys. This has been amazing. Yeah, such a huge learning curve. I'll have to watch this back 46 times to.
We didn't even do it without me reaching across the table
we
and yanking him across the
we
table.
need an arm wrestling match.
What's the deal? You guys don't really get along. These guys don't get along.
We have a strange chemistry, to be honest with you.
So you seen the movie Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm the guy that's going to put the stuff on his drum set.
No,
that's what it is.
Well, no, I think we bring a different skill set to the table. Like Mike, he's always been our technology champion. Like if you're looking at marketing automation or multi-channel, you want to build websites, you want to do crazy database stuff, he's your guy. This guy's a champion. He built it. He pushed the limits with big national financial service clients a long time ago. He was doing this for everybody. And what I've done is I go out and I bring my customers in, I sell them on the direct marketing, and I say, by the way, I have a whole bunch of great tools that can be used two ways. He's kind of a tool, or I've got great tools.
Yeah. You see, he slid that. That's why I want to grab him and yank him across the table.
He's an instrument.
Right. Or he's an instrument.
Yeah.
But he definitely all my largest customers, he's always facilitating and executing these additional touches, these additional campaigns, complex build-outs, and that's been a big part of Summit's success.
And he's
for
good.
Sure.
He is good at finding people that I don't know how the hell he finds, but he finds a lot of good customers and a lot of good opportunities. So we work well as a team.
Yeah.
The black eyes kind of healed up a little bit, so he's good.
Yeah, it was just one little fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will stay or go, but like I'm curious. Okay, so I have a company that we do a ton of weddings. We do bars for weddings, right? So it's you don't have a vendor. I'm a vendor. I come in, and we're top of the food chain as far as the service, right? And we're probably, I would say, in the state of Texas, there's not anybody that's going to serve craft cocktails at this pace, with this level of style, with knowledgeable bartenders, with good-looking gear, with beautiful barscapes. And I could do it for thousands of people if I need to, but really I'm doing it for 2, 3, 4, 500 people, right? Because that's a big old wedding, 500 people, right? But it's usually 200, 250 is kind of my max. How would someone like me play into that, right? How do you find that?
You know what you do? That's the competitive targeting, right?
Well,
Yeah,
competitive
so-
targeting, but you're talking about a wedding party. Was that right?
Well,
Is that,
right. So I really want those brides out because I don't want to go advertise in a bridal magazine. To me, they suck. Nothing's working there.
Competitive targeting.
But
Yeah.
a couple of things. That competitive targeting is one. Then I'm going to go out and say I want a list of all recently registered brides who registered, on a bridal registry, and I want to mail those people at home. And if I had to guess, that's a highly available list because when you register, you're usually checking on permission box somewhere that your name can be used for other purposes.
Right.
So there are lists that exist, and there's, you go rent a list like that, and then you start promoting directly to the brides. That's where I would go if I were you.
So I'm a low level guy, but I could come to you and I say, if I've put together a budget, I could say, hey, I want this postcard with this QR on the back or URL, and I want them to see this. I want them to see bar catering. We're the best. You could do that, and you could find all the brides in Texas pretty much. If
I
could.
would think you likely anybody who's registered on a registry somewhere, because obviously you don't want the ones that have already come through the public records. That's
Right.
too late.
Right.
They've already gotten married, so you
Right.
got to find the people who've registered or opted in somewhere. Because some people they want to be reached out to. They want to register. They want to find that free bridal information.
Yeah.
There's bridal shows and there's bridal. So
Right.
there's lists out there already being built. There's new baby lists, things like that. That's way past your category, but
Right.
lists like that exist.
They've got to be marketed to somewhere
Right.
on that.
And they'll have the dates too. They'll have the dates of their wedding, so you can start searching out. I want them between this. This is too quick because I can't get something out to them, and they've already probably planned. But the other piece is I kept saying about the competitor targeting. So you can actually go on sites that you think these people are filling stuff out for and searching things like I want to do wedding venue or I want to do this or I want to do that, and you could drop some specific pixels on those sites, and I can capture maybe 20 to 25% of those people, assuming you have certain we place them in certain places, and then 20 to 25% of those people can come back and I say, hey, these 25% of these people are looking on these sites for these types of venues or wedding venues in Texas, and you can actually hit those people as well.
Wow.
So there's a lot of ways to try and touch those people.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then, I'm just curious, like, who's more likely to buy from you, a wedding planner or a bride herself?
Honestly, it's 50-50. So the brides sometimes find us as their first. Why? They saw us on social. They went to a wedding somewhere. They saw a venue where we're tagged, and they said, I've got to have those guys. I don't know where I'm getting married, but I want that bar experience.
Actually, you could actually geofence some of these venues as well.
Well, right.
Geofence the venues. Anybody who comes into that geofenced
Or a
area,
walkthrough.
you
Yeah.
can pull them out and hit them with marketing pieces.
Right, and then on top of that, I always think a lot of my clients have similar predicaments where they want to reach the consumer, the bride, or they want to reach the wholesaler, the wedding planner.
Right.
So in your case, I'm thinking, okay, well, you should probably have a drip campaign going, running on a regular basis of new brides that are just registering, always kind of reaching out, have a funnel of mail, postcard going out, promoting you. But then on top of that, every few months you hit the list of wedding planners. You could, have somebody help build or cultivate. You can cultivate it yourself. Take that list of wedding planners, and then you hit them with a really expensive mail piece and say, hey, this is a $3 piece, because those guys have lots of customers and bigger reaches. And that's what I would tell for somebody like you. That would be my strategy.
That's awesome.
This is the stuff that people our size and competitors of us really don't do and don't do well.
Yeah.
And this is, again, one of our differentiators that we do that, again, we're not just putting ink on paper and putting out the door.
I mean, you guys just crushed that for me in 2 seconds. So, I mean, I can't imagine what you can do for the big guys. So
Try.
it's cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It is cool.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being with these two. I think they're off to Vegas to get married. And,
Yes, coming up soon.
And I've really enjoyed being here with these guys.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.